Winning news team. John Huddleston, weather with Richard Scott, and sports with Gary Harris.
Good evening. In January, Tuscaloosa received $16.6 million federal grant to help the city recover from the April 27th tornado. And in this week's city council meeting, Mayor Walt Maddox announced his recommendation as to where exactly that money should go. Maddox says he wants the money to be put towards projects that can be used as leverage. WVUA's Courtney Highfield has more in tonight's top story.
According to Mayor Maddox, the April 27 tornado caused nearly $200 million worth of damage in the city of Tuscaloosa, and the $16.6 million federal grant isn't nearly enough.
That is woefully insufficient to meet the $200 million worth of unmet needs in our community, whether it's housing, infrastructure, or economic development.
But Mayor Maddox hopes to use this money as leverage and get the biggest bang for his buck.
Our recommendation today is to take the 16.6 and use it as leverage. That means trying to get a multiplying effect in any of the projects that we select. If it's an infrastructure project, we're investing in it because we think it can help build back better houses and increase economic development. If it's working with Habitat and Humanity, we know they're going to leverage those dollars with the private sector to get more houses built. So what we're trying to do is take those dollars, invest it, leverage it so it can help these areas that were impacted come back quicker.
As a part of the mayor's recommendation, he said that some of the grant money would go towards Habitat for Humanity. He also said that Habitat has been one of the most successful organizations in Tuscaloosa since the tornado.
We're very pleasantly surprised with how much we've been able to accomplish in just this first year. We get kind of into the details, especially I do with my role, and I get overwhelmed and kind of think we're not going fast enough. When I scoot back and realize, you know, we'll have at least started, if not finished, almost 20 houses in the first year, that's pretty amazing.
Habitat says, however big or small the amount is, any amount of money will make a difference.
Funding means houses to us, which means housing families. And obviously the need is much bigger than the resources that any of us have, any one organization has.
Habitat officials said this will allow more projects to be started and finished even faster. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Courtney Highfield, WVUA News.
And the mayor hopes to put the majority of the grant money towards projects in the hardest hit areas. On your Home Team Crime Watch this evening, Tuscaloosa police are on the hunt for a wanted man. Ladarius Markel Rice is wanted for burglary. Police say Rice is aware they are looking for him and will run. If you know his location, call Crime Stoppers at 752-STOP or text TUSC and his location to 274637-CRIMES. If your tips lead to an arrest, police say you will receive a cash reward. Well, 2 men have been arrested in connection in the death of a Tuscaloosa woman. This comes more than a year after the victim was found inside a burned home. Michael Cardell Ford and William Stewart are both charged with capital murder in connection with the death of Kristen Robinson. Both suspects are being held without bond. Robertson's body was found April 2nd, 2011 inside her home in Alberta City on the 600 block of 34th Avenue East. According to Captain Lloyd Baker with Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide, firefighters found Robertson in the home after the fire, and it was determined the fire may have been set in an attempt to cover up evidence of the crime. Well, as changes occur in the state's Medicaid system, the transition could be leaving people in Alabama more vulnerable to scams. WVUA's Bradley Winnington has more on the possible dangers.
Margaret Odom has been on Medicare for over 20 years, and it wasn't until yesterday she received a phone call saying it was time to renew her Medicaid card.
And he said, "Your name is Margaret Odom," and I said, "Yes," and he had my address. I said, "Yes," and he said, "Well, we need some more information from you," and he said, "I'd like to know what your bank is." And I hung up on him.
But then he called back, asking for even more information.
"So I need you to get your bank book and give me the numbers on the bottom of your check." And I said, "I don't think so."
Odom tried to call the number back, but she had no luck. Now, even if you get the number to the scam artist and try to call them back, that won't work. You won't be able to contact them because you'll get a message like this.
"We're sorry, Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
They change their numbers so often. They've got this down to a T, because that's how they make their living, basically scamming other people. So it's very hard to trace, very hard to catch these people.
Brent Blankley with the Tuscaloosa Police Department says never give out personal information, especially banking.
Any kind of scam that you get where somebody's calling you, they're requesting your social security number, your bank account number, anything personal. Banks are never going to call you and verify bank numbers over the phone. That should be your first red flag.
It's so sad because every day somebody's coming up with a new scam, and there's such a tremendous cut, and that's really going to hurt. It's really going to hurt our elderly. And you see the saying many, many times, I have to decide, do I want food or do I want medicine? And sometimes we just don't realize how little some people are living on.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Bradley Whittington, WVUA News.
And if you feel like you're being contacted by a scammer, Blankley says to hang up and try to get the number blocked. Well, let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast tonight. Here's Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott with that. Hey, Richard.
Hey, John, good Wednesday evening to you. Hey, it feels great out there tonight. 65 degrees in Tuscaloosa with low humidity, not muggy at all. 70 down to Demopolis and Livingston, 68 over in Utah, 69 in Marion, 70 in Clanton. Southeast, we are dry. In fact, no rain or cloud cover deal with tonight. We'll stay dry for the next several days, all the way through the weekend, which is good news, but hey, it gets hot by the weekend. Even tomorrow for our Thursday, starts to get hot out there, 4 o'clock, 92, plenty of sun. What about any rain chance in the forecast? Home team weather is coming up.
Okay, thank you, Richard. See you in a little bit. Well, if you're hitting the road for the holiday weekend, you might want to listen to this next stat. Studies show more drivers run red lights during the Memorial Day weekend than any other time of the year. So which intersections in Tuscaloosa should you avoid? WVUA's Travis Leader has the 5 biggest trouble spots where drivers are often looking to save a little time by crossing a little late.
Here are the city of Tuscaloosa's top 5 most dangerous intersections. Number 5, 15th Street and 6th Avenue. Number 4, Rice Mine Road and New Watermelon Road. Number 3, Lurleen Wallace South and University Boulevard. Number 2, McFarland Boulevard and James I. Harrison Parkway. And the number 1 most dangerous intersection is Skyland and I-359. City traffic engineer David Griffin says with 125,000 vehicles crossing that intersection each day, accidents are bound to happen.
With every entering vehicle, there is an underlying probability of error on the part of one or more drivers. More vehicles entering, more potential for conflict.
Some drivers are noticing increasing traffic in recent years.
We have new people moving up here, and the school gets bigger and bigger, the university does, and it's just a lot more people up here now than what used to be up here when I first moved here.
The city is attempting to hold red light runners accountable by installing cameras at some of these intersections.
We feel like automated red light running enforcement technology could help change driver behavior and bring these crash numbers down.
Both drivers and engineers are saying people need to hold themselves accountable to protect themselves and each other.
Sometimes I think it's just people in a hurry and not paying attention. I think cell phones are an issue too.
We're pushing the envelope. We're taking chances. And some of those chances are resulting in serious injuries and deaths.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
And Griffin says red light cameras are not the solution to all these troublesome intersections. According to him, most of the car accidents at New Watermelon and Rice Mine were caused by impaired drivers. Now an update to the states of Alabama's farmers. The immigration crackdown has put the pinch on many farmers planting produce. Some say instead of having crops rot in the field like they did last year, they're planting less because they're afraid there won't be enough workers to pick crops at harvest time. Alabama's Agricultural Commissioner John McMillan was in Tuscaloosa today, and we asked him about the situation. Here's what he had to say.
In short term, that's not a direct impact on food prices, but if, for example, if every state in the country did what Alabama and a few of these states have done in trying to address this issue, which certainly needs addressing, we'd see food prices, we'd see food shortages.
An Alabama Farmers Federation expert says this year will be vital.